Every time you use a cloud-based AI, you are packaging up your private code, your application programming interfaces, or APIs, the keys that let software talk to each other, and your daily workflow habits, and handing them over to opaque cloud servers. This creates a systemic problem known as context captivity. To get access to an inference engine, the math that actually generates the AI's responses, you are forced to surrender your personal and institutional knowledge to a third party. Imagine if every time you wanted to upgrade your computer's processor, you had to physically mail your entire hard drive to the manufacturer and trust them not to read your files. We would never accept that for our hardware, but it is exactly what we do with cloud AI. Osaurus AI approaches this differently. It is a native macOS runtime that acts as a local motherboard for your AI. It sits directly between you and the model, keeping all of your memory, context, and tools strictly on your own device. The actual intelligence of an AI model is a highly replaceable commodity that gets cheaper every week. Your context, the specific data and habits that make the AI useful to you, is a durable, private asset. It belongs on your machine. Osaurus is provider agnostic, letting you seamlessly swap the AI's underlying brain. You can run optimized local models offline using Apple's MLX framework, then switch to cloud APIs. When disconnecting, the memory lives securely in the central harness, never forgetting who you are. This harness runs a 4-layer memory system in the background, extracting your preferences into a permanent record. It autonomously maps a knowledge graph of your projects, stored directly on your Mac in a lightweight SQLite database, requiring no external servers. By separating the reasoning engine from the memory storage, you build an intellectual asset that compounds in value every time you use it. That asset survives entirely independent of any big tech provider. AI models can hallucinate, and giving an autonomous agent direct access to your developer environment carries severe risks. An unchecked AI with full read and write permissions can easily delete source code or overwrite sensitive local files by mistake. To solve this, Osaurus uses a sandbox as its primary defense mechanism. It uses Apple's native containerization framework to spin up an isolated Linux virtual machine, a completely secure execution environment separated from your Mac. This gives the agent a safe place to execute Python or Node scripts. The sandboxed AI communicates with your Mac only through a highly restricted VSOC bridge, ensuring the agent can only report results back, never touching the host system. This strict hardware-level isolation removes the danger of autonomous file execution. It turns a potential security liability into a tightly constrained, automated workforce you can actually trust to run code. Let's say you want to trigger one of these local agents from your phone while sitting in a coffee shop. That presents a networking challenge. How do you access a perfectly isolated Mac without opening holes in your home firewall? Osaurus solves this by giving every participant a cryptographic identity. You, your Mac, and each AI agent receive a mathematically verifiable SecP256K1 address, the exact same encryption standard used to secure Bitcoin. Using these specific keys, Osaurus establishes a relay. This acts as a secure, authenticated WebSocket tunnel, a persistent two-way connection linking your remote device directly to your Mac. This routing mechanism entirely bypasses the need to manually forward ports on your router, and it eliminates the need to trust a third-party authentication server with your passwords. Because all access authority flows directly from your local master key, the entire communication loop is mathematically verifiable. Your network remains completely sovereign and impenetrable to outside interference, even when you access it from afar. Despite the heavy virtualization and encryption routing, this entire system is incredibly lean. It runs inside a lightweight 31-megabyte native Swift application on your Mac. A developer can sit on an airplane with no Wi-Fi, open their laptop, and fluidly instruct an autonomous agent to execute, test, and debug complex scripts entirely off the grid. Physically separating the swappable intelligence models from your permanent context layer is the only effective way to retain ownership over your digital life. The language models we rely on today will be obsolete next year, but your personal workflows, your organized files, and your institutional memory form an irreplaceable competitive advantage. Download the open-source Osaurus app, pull down a local offline model, and start building an AI workforce that you actually own.